Hey everyone, this is Lou Powell with PK, and today I will be talking with Raja Roy, head of engineering for PK, about low code, no code. Welcome, Raja.
Thank you, Lou. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and look forward to the conversation today.
First thing I'd like to cover is what exactly is low code, no code, and why is it important?
The idea behind low code is very simple: empowering citizen developers who are not proficient in coding the ability to easily develop code without relying on the traditional development model. The platform provides a host of tools and capabilities to where the burden of writing boilerplate code is not required. And typically, you can just drag and drop and build something fast, quickly, and turn around things.
Where are we commonly seeing low code, no code deployed throughout the enterprise?
Well, there are two different things that we are actually experiencing. In first cases, we are seeing it in smaller organization where, or in a line of business within an enterprise where they have few development resources. If you have a small requirement and kind of, follow the concept of waterfallish development, where you don't have to kind of plan too much and you don't really need to kind of, go in an iterative way, but quickly build something just for your internal consumption faster. I think low code fitment makes a very good choice there.
With low code, no code in the enterprise, and we're starting to see that kind of growing, where do you see governance and monitoring playing a role?
When we talk about governance, the first thing that comes into mind is the enterprise standards and best practices with regard to things like security. That's one angle, right? The second aspect could be around governance, around compliance, and around the regulation. And the third is the ROI, or the business objective, whether the particular initiative has kind of given you the desired result. Now, if you look at it now from the lens of low code platform, they kind of do it pretty well. It encapsulates all the nuts and bolts of governance and monitoring inbuilt, so that you really don't have to kind of think through that.
And there's a bit of a trade-off with the amount of flexibility you get with full code versus low code, no code, because of all those delivered capabilities, correct?
Absolutely.
There are some limitations with low code, no code when it comes to gaining access to enterprise systems and data stores.
The first important thing is about the complexity, because see, low code environment tends to kind of use a visual metaphor to describe the logical program flow. And once the diagram or the code becomes too big or too large, it's very difficult to kind of understand. You don't know what is getting built inside. Number two, we see a lot of I would say checks and balances needs to be done for security and testing. And the third thing would be the integration, because we normally recommend an API-led architectural style when communicating or with other disparate systems. But low code platform on the other side does come with inbuilt adapters and sort of connectors. So these are some of the things that we are seeing in the low code platform adoption. But over a period of time, things are getting mature, and we do see that some improvements are coming down the way from a limitation standpoint, that most of the vendors are taking serious consideration into it.
Raja, how do you see APIs and events playing a role in the maturing of low code, no code in the enterprise?
Now, being API first means anticipating that the API may have many use cases and can enable numerous business opportunity to support. Now, on the other side, with an integration first mindset, which typically the low code platform kind of advocates, usually means that thinking within the scope of a particular integration project and creating an API as one-off without considering the future use of it. Now, switching from the latter mindset to the former can be a cultural shift, but once the transition has been done, enterprise can unlock significant opportunities with regard to efficiency, speed, growth, and resiliency with API.
Do you see low code, no code and these principles being applied in a RPA or process automation world?
Absolutely, because in a BPM world or in an intelligent process automation world, you don't expect the developer to write boilerplate code. You would expect them to kind of automate the process with few configuration, few tweaks, and few checks and balances. And in that regard, it is actually gearing towards low code platform. Many of the RPA platform today is basically, you can think of them as a manifestation of the low code platform revolution that is happening, because they actually live to the same promise of low code platform.
What do you think is the next step in the evolution of the low code, no code environments or tooling that is going to make it more successful and more adopted by industry?
Things like machine learning and deep learning will play a very pivotal role in how the low-code platform will manifest or mature over a period of time. For example, the next generation platforms are able to suggest the best next step for anyone looking to analyze or integrate data. Eventually, low-code platform will take more of this task until eventually the AI itself become the implementer of subsequent tasks there.
Those are great insights, Raja. I appreciate all of the great information that you shared with our audience on low code, no code, or as I like to call it, loco noco. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Lou.